Hi everybody, my name is Campbell Eccles and this is my Flosstube channel called Stitch Therapy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This was a gift from a friend over Christmas and I love it so much. I've been playing it all the time. When you see this, it will be Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. This is a channel where I talk about not only cross stitch and the process of what I'm doing with my cross stitch, but also what it does for me. The relaxation, the concentration, those are dogs. They have bones, so they're out there chewing bones. I apologize for the background noise. Yeah, so how it keeps me grounded and how I use cross stitch as basically my stress relaxation process, and also what it does for, I think, how we mark our time in life. I'm a big believer that when you do something creative by hand, you're putting part of your life into that thing that you're doing. And I love that energetic exchange, which is why I really like to watch whip parades and people's process. And I've been doing a lot of that this holiday. I've been doing a lot of stitching, and I'm going to show you some of that, mostly on my monogamous piece, Eden. For those of you who are new, Eden is a very large cross-stitch piece I've been doing for 3 years, and I'm down to the last 4 pages. I'm almost halfway through the last, well, third to last page. So I'm on page 41 out of 44. And this past weekend, I stitched like, I don't know, 1,300, 1,400 squares. I went bananas. I did a third of a page, so it was great. And also over Christmas, I kitted up a new whip, which is going to be, after Eden, will be my big extended project. I don't know if it's going to be monogamous because there's a lot of things I'm going to do, which I told you guys about before. I've got 2025 is going to be my, I'm going to say maybe a dozen. I'm going to stop it at like 12. It's going to be my year of the whip. 2025 is going to be my year of the whip. Speaking of that, let me just sip because my mouth is getting a little dry. It's been a step back, guys. It's been a while since I talked to you. It's really fun. I've thought about all the things I wanted to share. I keep reading poems and having thoughts in my recovery practice and new insights I've had in my life over 2024 and taking stock of 2024, not just in my cross stitch, but in my life, and how I want to move forward a little bit in 2025 and the things that have become important to me. And yeah, so the agenda for today, let me just get my piece of paper. That's one of the things I've started doing, is I have started writing everything down. Okay, so I don't want this intro to be too long. I want to jump right into showing you my stitching and stuff. But I did want to say that I found a poem and I wanted to share it with you right up front because I think it's a good reminder for me. I really enjoy it because it's what I want to focus on for 2025. Okay, so it says, focus on loving. And this is a poem by Carrie Joy Walker. Okay. Walking in the morning, I'm starting a new day. If worries come to visit, I let love send them away. As the day progresses, if it puts me to the test, I focus on the loving and let go of all the rest. There is a greater truth that's not defined by me. I choose to see the loving, for the love created me. So I subscribe to a morning prayer journal and also other recovery books. And those of you that have been here for a while know that that I do that. And across the board, lots of different areas of my life. And I don't like to do things by myself. You know, I like to be in the middle of the herd I don't want to be off on my own, just being sort of an independent person trying to make things up or figure it out by myself. This is the brain that got me into trouble, so I have to go to another brain to help me get out of trouble. So anyway. But having said that, I think cross stitch for me is a part of that self-care process. And one of the things that is in the reading today is about self-care. And I'm just going to put this out there for those of you who don't want to watch all this, or I should have put this in up front. I'll take a pause. Okay. For those of you who don't want to see a poem or don't want to read any reflections about the new year, please feel free to forward to this time code. Okay. So the other reading that I had was about self-care. And it comes from this wonderful little book by Tyann Dayton. And it's a book that I've used, as you can tell, for many years. It's sort of falling apart, and it's all highlighted. everything's highlighted. But it's a self-care for the new year reading that I really like. It says, "Today I will be grateful with myself." No. Let me start that again. "Today I will be gentle with myself. Only I know how hurt I have been and how frightened I am capable of being. I will hold that terror-stricken part of me with loving, kind hands and ask for help from a higher source. I will stand as the caretaker of my own soul and protect it. I will take risks by not pretending to myself or others that I am fearless, or by playing tough or hiding underneath layers of denial. If I am to invite my spirit to live freely within me, I need to be both loving and strong enough to live with my own weaknesses, and loving enough to extend compassion and a compassionate hand to myself when I need it. I accept and love myself, not as I think I should be, but as I am." So the quote at the bottom of this is from E.H. Chapin, and the quote says, "Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars." Okay, there you go. So that's a little bit of the therapy part of stitch therapy. For those of you that are new, I like doing stuff like that. And I will end this. I have a little special singing bowl practice at the end of this video. So again, this may not be the channel for you. If all you want to see is like a whip parade and I've done a bunch of recently. Actually, I shouldn't say that, because recently I've done tons and tons and tons of Christmas flip-throughs, and I did all the magazine stitch flip-throughs and all of that, and some book flip-throughs. So I've done a bunch of that on this channel too. But if you're new, just know that this is just a place where if you've got stitching and you have dogs that chew bones while you're trying to do a floss tube, yeah, this is for you. So the order of this video is going to be, I'm going to show you where I am with Eden. I'm going to show you a brand new whip. I have a temperature chart I've started. Ooh, and I love it, and I want to explain that to you. And then I also have, in the order of things, what have I got here? Temperature chart. Okay. I went to visit my niece and nephew and my sister-in-law over Christmas, and remember how I was telling you about the Daniel stocking? I think that was the last episode. I have pictures of the Daniel stocking and the Molly stocking, and I will tell you all about that and the very beautiful thing that happened when we were talking about that over Christmas when I went to visit them. So I told you the story about how I made this really ugly stocking for my nephew Daniel, and I was really embarrassed that, you know, poor kid, he was crying one year that he didn't want to use the stocking. And my brother and my sister-in-law very kindly have a bag of stockings. And every year they say to the kids, what stockings do you want to use? Because, you know, they're 2 kids and people make them tons of stockings. Well, the year that I went over there, the year after when Daniel was like 4 or 5, and he didn't use my stocking. And he cried and ran out of the room and felt really embarrassed. And I was like, it's fine, it's fine. You don't have to, you know, it was ugly, it's fine. So anyway, this year I went to visit them. And I walked in, and over the fireplace mantle was 2 stockings. Daniel's, here's a picture, and Molly's, here's a picture. So these 2 stockings were on the mantle, and I turned to Daniel and I said, oh my God, you like it? He like, dude, I love it. It's radical. I love it. It's so cool. It's like the bat. Oh, I love my stocking. He was like, well, the dog got into it this year, so there's a tear in it where there was chocolate in the bottom, and the dog tried to get to the chocolate and so tore it. So we need to do a little mending. But other than that, he's like, are you kidding? It's rad. I love my stocking. I love my stocking. I was like, well, do you remember the year that you ran out of the room crying because I said, where's your stocking that I made you? And he said, dude, I do not remember that at all. I'm really sorry. So that was a very healing moment. And I hugged him and I said, oh, thank you. I thought it was the ugliest stocking. He goes, no, it's awesome. That's great. And then Molly was like, yeah, I love my stocking. And actually reviewing Molly's stocking again, I'll put another picture here. I think I would have used a different fabric choice for the snow person because it's so light. And also that edge around the circle, like I could have made that smaller. I could have, like, oh boy. Those were the early days of me trying to do fully finishes in the 90s where I just was not so good. Anyway, I feel like it wasn't so good, but you know what? My niece and nephew, they love their stockings. Yay. I just wanted to bring that full circle. You never know where you're going to find hidden healing in relationships. You know, that was quite lovely. And so Daniel, if you're watching, thank you very much. And Molly, I love you. Thank you. So, yeah, that was really fun to spend time with them and to know that they love their stockings. Yay. Okay. All right. So, what's next? What's next is Eden. Yes. All right. So here's the progress of Eden. Page 40. And page 41, where I am, that I just finished last night, this whole 3rd section. I have 2 dogs behind me chewing bones. I'm really sorry if that's annoying to everybody, but it does keep them quiet. Anyway, I apologize. So that's the progress with Eden. I am hoping to be able to get this finished by January or middle of February. I recently went through all of my pages and counted the number of stitches I've done, and then I have my needle calendar, my needlework calendar from 2024. I went through and looked at how many days it took me to do a single page. Each page on my pattern that I designed for Max Stitch after Holly Sierra gave me permission. I just want to say that out loud again, that I went to the artist to get permission to do this piece. And I like to acknowledge her all the time. So the full page is, each page is like 4,200 stitches, and I average that in about 11 days, 10 to 11 days. The fastest I've ever done a full page is 6 days. Hi, future me here. I like the idea when I was reviewing the video of like maybe showing you my calendar of the sticker process. So this is from 2024, and this is the review of my stitch book. So all of the sparkly smiley faces are where I stitched Eden. So February, stitching Eden. March, I'll do this, stitching Eden. I know, I have a thing for like decorating my books too, my calendar, I really like it. April, stitching Eden. The big places where there's like a heart or a circle means there's a page finished. So this is what I mean. May, not so much stitching.
couple weeks in there. I was bobbinating in May. June, I got back on track a little bit more. July, lots of stitching in July. Yes, yes, yes. I think I knocked out like 3 pages in July. That was great. August, yep, I took some time off in here. Took some time off. There were rain days and whatnot in August. September, pretty decent progress in September. October, lots of progress until the end. And then I went on vacation. November, yes. There's a bunch of days in November I did not stitch because I was on vacation. Yes, December. Yes. And that's my birthday. That's why there are balloons here. It's my birthday and then my sister's birthday. December, so I decorate it for that. And that's it. Okay. Back to the regular scheduled program on Eden, and then I can count up the days. So the longest I've ever spent stitching a pattern, I think, is like 15 days. A single page on the pattern is 15 days, and then the shortest is 6. And so my happy place is somewhere between 10 and 11 days, and that averages out to about 335 stitches per day. Somewhere. I mean, you can do the math, but I think it works out to that. I don't have a computer system. For those of you that saw the pictures before, I do printed pages. I copy everything and then I laminate it and then I highlight it in yellow. Like, it is what it is. That's how I learned how to do it, and I am doing a whip right now, a temperature chart on a computer system, but it's on an Excel spreadsheet, and I will show that to you now. Hey, I had to get rid of the dogs. I couldn't stand the bone chewing anymore. So I just like stopped everything, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna get rid of the dogs. Even though I am wearing my dog blanket poncho. Do you like this? This is my dog blanket poncho. It's literally a dog blanket that I just put a hole in, and then I did a little whip round on the sewing machine for the edge. And so I wear it in the winter because it's, you know, my house gets cold and, you know, it's a dog poncho. Anyway, so temperature, speaking of temperature and cold and hot and whatever. Okay, so I've seen lots of people do wonderful, wonderful temperature charts, and I bought like 3 and then decided I would do this one. This is from a company called Tanglewear. This is the picture. And how this works is it's on an Excel spreadsheet. So you get a tab. The first tab is the Excel of every single day for 365 days. And then each day you put in the temperature, the high and the low for each day. The second tab is the color key and the floss key and your stuff. The third tab is the pattern key, so that when you put in the temperature on the Excel spreadsheet, you clip over to the pattern key. For those of you that know Excel, you clip over to the pattern key, and then it brings up this row of 85 per day. Each row is your temperature from low to high. And this is so far what I've done. So this is January 1st through the 6th. Isn't it cool? Okay, so there's, yeah, the low to the high. And of course, you know, you get to, what's cool about this also is that she will email you once you buy the program. The lady who runs it will ask you, what's your zip code, what's your average temperature in the year, and what day of your calendar would you like to start it. So let's say I wanted to start in the middle of the year. I could start August 1st. Easy. So, and she'll set it up so that your floss key reflects that. And if you wanted a different floss color key, you could also specify that with her. It's just a very cool
thing, and I've never done anything like this. So, and I've seen people online do it. And so it's on Etsy. Here's my cautionary tale though about this is that the fourth day or the fifth day I was doing this, when I clicked the Excel spreadsheet, I screwed it up somehow and I lost all my symbols. I couldn't get them back. And I tried to go back the day earlier and I had already stitched that day and I was trying to do the 6th and I couldn't get the 6th. She's really kind. She says if you have any problems, just email me and she resets it for you and then she she sets it up for you. So it's saved in the cloud. So it's pretty cool that's why I don't do computer charts, because I was like, I'm going to lose them. I'm going to screw it up. So I like to do the hard copy print, but this is really cool. This I can do. I can do 85 stitches per night when I come home from work. It's a nice sort of relaxing small stitch. I can do it. And plus, it's just cool to see the colors. I can't wait to see all of them, especially because today was a snow day and last night was snowing. So what I think I'm going to do is do an adaptation of this. I think I'm going to get some Krynic silver, and I'm going to add Krynic silver for the days that it snows. Yes, so I may be adapting this, but I just wanted to show you that. That's called Tanglewear. I'll put the information here. It's here. I don't know where the box shows up. It's on Etsy. There are other ones that I found too. Oh, and I have another calendar. I have another calendar where I'm showing my stitching. So this is every day I do the tangle. I put a smiley face on my my 2024 keepsake calendar. I'm tracking it on there so I know what day and it also has a list of the highs and lows of the temperature on this very specific calendar. So I'm doing that. That's a cool look. And then my 2025 calendar is also charting Eden. And so I have 2 smiley faces per day. I have one for, whoops, where are we? So that's the finish, the page finish for page 40. I always put a big sticker like a butterfly or something. And then the other one is, so I did temperature chart here, and then the 2 ones are when I did Eden. So literally that page 43 that I just showed you, 41, no, what am I on? 41, right? I stitched all of that, like a third of that. I did all of 41 in the last 2 days. So that day to this day. Like, I don't know, I went bananas over the weekend. Yeah, like 1,500 stitches over the weekend. It was just like doing nothing on a snow day, but stitching. It's fabulous. So that's that. Whip, as Jane used to say from Running with Stitches. And the new whip is the one that you guys probably have heard me talk about a lot. I will start this after I finish Eden. So yes, I'm going to have satisfaction delayed, but it is this one. And this also, I wanted to show you my process of like how I do my full coverages and how I do my fabrics and everything. So this one's going to be a little more detailed, organized. So here is the pattern. This is Steampunk Cat Daddy. This is, you guys know this, it's by Jeff Haney from Heaven and Earth Designs. I think you can still get this if you want. Okay, so as I described how I do old school patterning. Okay, so I made a copy of this, I printed it out, and each page is laminated. See? Each page is laminated. Yes, yes, yes. I got the large print copy, so there are 30 pages. Okay, and the total on 25 linen, the total size of this will be 17 3/4 by 22 5/8, which is
reasonable. I mean, Eden is 28 by 25 or 27 by 23, 24. Huge. This one, not so bad. 17 by 22. We got this. So, yeah, I'll be doing that. That's the pattern book. Okay. This is the bag. I think I showed you guys this bag in a previous one. And then how I organized the threads was there are 85 colors to this pattern. So how I did it was, pardon the zip, close your ears. What am I saying? You've been listening to my dogs chewing bones for 10 minutes, so you a zipper is not a big deal, right? I pulled out all of the threads, and while I was watching horror documentaries over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, yes, I know, and like New Year's, I watched World War II documentaries, so, you know, as you do. These are the 85 colors. I'm pulling them out for you. Here we go. All right, here we go. Stitchy goodness. I put them all on floss drops. Okay. So they have individual numbers on their tags so that, for instance, this is the 100 and 200s. This is the 800s, right? So they're all designated. This is the 3 O's, 3 zeros, oops, 370s, that kind of thing, right? So they all have their own bundle. Okay, so this would drive me crazy if I didn't have where these are going to go. Now, what I did was, in the pattern, it tells you how many skeins to use. I cut out exactly, I got on the floss drops exactly all of the amount of skein. All the yardage that I'm going to need for this is in this bag. Okay, that's process one. The next thing I did was I took, and I don't know what to call these. Are these floss racks? Let's just say it's a floss rack. Okay. So I bought 2 of these. And if you can see on here, the symbols for each color are on here. So each color is on a floss rack. So when I get started, I will rack up a section of threads for each color. And as I move through the pattern, when I am missing, so this is like the one for Eden. This is my floss rack for Eden. And Eden is only 47 colors. 46, 47 colors. Can you believe it? That whole thing is only 46 colors. Anyway, so what I have is this, and I have a floss box for extra flosses that I need, because I didn't do a yardage when I was making the pattern on Max Stitch. I didn't queue up how many yards I needed on my pattern on Max Stitch, because it was the first time I'd ever really done a proper pattern on Max Stitch, and I was getting the design and the coloring and trying to do how many squares per chart and all that stuff. So I forgot to click the button on Max Stitch that says total amount of yards, right, next to on the key code that you can do. Anyway, Heaven and Earth Designs, they're very professional. That's why they do this. That's why they make tons of money. Anyway, they have it. So I will just add the extra when I run out, just like I do with Eden. I'll add it to the, I'm going to call these floss racks in the future, so you guys will know what I'm talking about when I say, oh, well, the floss rack, I ran out. Okay. So I really like this system. It takes a long ass time to set up, folks. I'm not going to lie. It took me all day Christmas Eve and all day Christmas Day to do this. But that's how I want to spend my Christmas. Okay, so I have 2 fabric choices here. I have a 25 count you know, the charted one. This is a 25 count or 28 count. I think it's 25. I have that, or I have this other one. See, this is an even weave, and I think this one is, I actually designed this specifically for it, but I think this is 20, it's just a basic cream. I think it's a 28 count even weave. That's very small to me. This is 25. I've never done anything so small on 28. I'm a little nervous to do this on 28 count, one thread. I'm a little nervous. So I am thinking I'm gonna do this on 25, 2/1, because I do like the chunky look. I know a lot of people like it flat, and you know, I like the chunky look. I like it that it's like full cross, kind of chunky. So that's just my style of stitching. And I think what I'm going to do is, not only am I going to do this, but if you look at the back of the pattern, I'm going to show you this again. Do you see this black part here underneath on the edge? Let me go over here, this edge. So this is not in the pattern. The edge is not in the pattern. So for instance, and I don't want to, but I'll just show you a little itty bitty bit, okay? I'll just show you a little bit. I'm not breaking anybody's copyright, but you see how the pattern starts with that on the edge? It's a weird, it's like a floaty edge. Okay. I think what I want to do with the fabric is I want to do like a dark, I was saying this to my stitching group online, my Friday Night Stitcher ladies. I was talking to the Tatas about this, and I said, well, maybe I want to do a tea dye or a dye of some different color in the back, like a gray blue dye in the back. And one of the ladies, Sarah, said, well, you better test it on a piece of fabric so that you don't screw it up. So what I think I'm going to do is, I don't care about the lines. I don't care about the 10 count lines. I mean, I don't usually use a gridded fabric, so it doesn't matter to me. But I did want to, I bought this because it was part of the suggested package from Heaven and Earth Design. So I bought it, and I'm going to make sure it's the right size. I am going to test with a sample on a Ritz dye, and I think what I'm going to do is a dark blue with even a dark blue black mix, so that it, in the background of all of these grays and tan colors in the floss, there's going to be there'll be a colored edge that I'm working on. You know, I'll be working on colored fabric. Yeah, I know. Never done that before. I know. There are professionals that do this. My stitching group gave me like 3 or 4 names of people that, you know, they do this regularly. Campbell, why wouldn't you do this? Well, because it's me. Yes, it's me. And I just want to, I don't know, I'm still debating this 28 count. Do I do 28 count with 1/1 on a dyed fabric? God, would that drive me bananas? I've already kitted up for a 2/1. Oh, guys, I don't know. I have to think about it. 28 feels really small to me. I already used these magnifying glasses right here. I already used these. This is what I use on 18 count. Can you imagine what I have to use for 28 count? Big old bug eyes. Anyway, all right. So that's Steampunk Cat Daddy. It's kitted up and ready to go, guys. Ready to go for 2025. As soon as Eden is over, this gets started. Yes. And the temperature, I feel like the temperature chart and Eden, and then Steampunk will be a nice continuation of 2025. The other thing I'm going to work on in 2025 that you guys have seen, I'm pulling it out here, is this. Yes, I did a little bit more. So I want to finish this. This is Skull Cat, the Skull Cat from the Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2024 edition, I think. 2024, 2023. I think it's 2023. Anyway, so yeah, Skull Cat I want to finish as well. I want to finish Skull Cat. I want to do that. Hang on, I have more. One moment, I'm back. So, those are my whips right now. The other one that I bought that I might kit up and start is my first RTO pattern. I think this is beautiful, and I got it because I saw Laura in Australia, who has a cross-stitch channel called I Stitch Birds. It's snowing again. Wow, guys. Woo. Okay, sorry, I just looked outside. It's snowing again. So Laura in Australia did an RTO kit parade, and I saw this and I really wanted to do it. Isn't she beautiful? It's called Swallows. It's beautiful. The kit comes on 14 count, and of course I don't stitch on 14 count, so I changed it for cream 18 count. So I put the 14 count away and put 18 count in the kit, but it's already in a bag. And I've never done an RTO. I don't know what it's like. The symbols are all different. I think it's a Russian pattern. I don't know. Oh, it's DMC. It says DMC Mulan. Is okay. So they have DMC threads, but the patterns are different. They have a weird. Some of them are different kinds of. I think there's a different, like 2 stitches on one code. Like you have to use 2 threads on. It's a little bit like dimensions, the way that they code things. Anyway, I don't know. That may be in my 2025 whip parade, which is why I said I think I'm gonna have like 12 whips in 2025. How exciting! I'm not gonna be monogamous anymore. So far we have so far Eden. I'll get that finished. Steampunk Cat Daddy, Swallows, Temperature Chart, Cat, Skull Cat. Oh, I also have the Gnome Band, which I will review all these with you when I get going. The Gnome Band from like 1986. It's still on a big frame that I want to finish. The Gnome Band. What else? Oh, Soul and Intellect, that full coverage that I talked to you guys about, that many of you said, hey, just start it again. I'm going to start it again. What else is back there? Oh, and there's another one that I just got, and I have it pretty much kitted up. This was, again, somebody from my stitching group enabled me to buy this, and I don't think it's going to be a long stitch. I don't think it's going to be a... Oh, I also have the Long Dog Sampler, which is the chess piece one, the not Queen's Gambit, I always say that. The Long Dog Stitch. Oh, you know what I mean. The one with the knights and the, what's it called? Not Queen's Gambit, it's a Opening Gambit. Long Dog Stitch, Opening Gambit. I started that in 2023. I haven't touched it at all this year practically. So that one, that's 8. What are we up to? 8, 9 now? This one was enabled by Karen in my stitching group, enabled me to buy this. It's a Long Dog sampler called Dawn Chorus, and I think it's beautiful. Again, I think I want to use dyed fabric on the back of this instead of white. And I bought it from 123 Stitch, and I bought the fabrics with it. And I got a, yes, what are we calling this? A floss rack. I bought a floss rack to go with it, and I bought the floss also from 123 Stitch that goes along with, look at the colors, guys. Oh, look at the colors. So I bought all the DMC floss for this. And then I pulled this piece of 18 count out, which I think is really pretty. I think that would be pretty on that. This is one of those brown paper bag type colors. I don't know the name of anything, guys. I mean, listen, it's me. I don't, you know, whatever. So there's that. Or I could use a colored fabric. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to do this with this tea dye or brown paper bag color, Sandy Ada 18 count, Sandy Ada. So there's that one. Put that one into the whip box. I have a whip box next to me. Yes, so there's that, and then there's there are Christmas stitches that I'd like to finish, small Christmas ornaments, and I don't think there's anything else really big. There's also some patterns I want to do for my niece and nephew, which if they're watching, I'm not going to tell them about on this video, for next Christmas, and I've already bought the patterns, and I already have the idea of it, and you'll just, shh, okay. So we'll do that because they like my stockings. I can't believe they like my stockings. Anyway, love them. Okay, so love. Okay, I want to do some fun stuff, finds, some things that have been found this past couple weeks. I also got some happy mail that I really want to shout out. This happy mailer, this lovely person who sent me. Her name is Kristina. I'm gonna slaughter your name, sweetheart. I'm sorry, Kristina Kamilova. Okay, she is so lovely. She is Kristina Kamilova. She has been emailing me, and we've been sort of striking up an email friendship, and she's just amazing. And she sent me all of this stitchy goodness. Look at this. This is dirty blue, beautiful, 18 count. And she had watched my Flosstube, and she knew that I like it. I don't use 14 count. So she sent me this hand wash in cold water. Okay, so she has an Instagram, which is Kristina. Wait, it's Instagram is KrisKamilova. And she only does it on Instagram. She doesn't have an Etsy page or anything, but please go check her out. She sent me all of these beautiful things. She sent me a Christmas card with this sweet little floss drops and Christmas cards and little, thank you, my goodness, look at these sweet little things, these buttons. They're so cute for all the year round. And she knows I love Halloween, so they're like Halloween buttons. So she sent me that. There's another one. This is a beautiful Ada 18 count. It's called Templeton. Oh, look at that color. Wow. Now I did measure. I don't think any of these are big enough for Steampunk Cat Daddy. I did check. But that's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, Kristina, I can't believe you did this. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm going to put her Instagram up on the screen after I show you these. Look at that green. Ah, so beautiful. This is the one I measured out. It's 21 by 18 or 17, which I don't think will cover steampunk, but this is the color. I would love to do steampunk on this, but I don't think it's, because steampunk is going to be 22 by something, and this is a 16 count, so it would be too big for this. But oh wow, I got to do something on this. If I had had this when I was working on the Sugar Skull Cat, I would have done it on this, Kristina. Thank you so much. This Stitchy Love is just fantastic. I mean, what a gift of generosity, you guys. I am blown away. So, Kristina Kimlov, and I'm going to put her, I'll put her up on right now. Okay, did you get that address on Instagram? Go check her out. Love, love, love. Thank you so much. What a beautiful human being. Oh my God. She is lives in Georgia now, but apparently has come over from where did she say, Belgravia? And then her family moved to Maryland. So she was in Maryland for a little while and now lives in Georgia. So thank you, sweetheart. My 2025 is off to a great start. I found another box which is sort of there were cookies in it at work, and I didn't eat the cookies, guys. I did not eat the cookies. I did end up having a piece of cake, though, on the 29th of December, I have to say. Chocolate, because I was celebrating my 15th year of sobriety, and so I blew my sugar sobriety. I had a piece of chocolate cake. Yes, I did, with some ice cream. Yes, I did. So, okay. Anyway, I'm back on the wagon now. I have a friend at work who's also staying abstinent with sugar and flour with me. Well, sugar at least. So thank you, Hilton. Anyway, this was a box that that same person brought nuts and stuff from this company, Bonnie and Pop, New York. So we opened it up and there was a whole bunch of there were a whole bunch of bags of like nuts and things and dried fruit and stuff in here. But look at this box, guys. So it was sitting on the kitchen table at work and I was like, okay, can I have this box? She's like, do you want it? I'm like, yes, I want it. So she gave it to me. I'm like, it's this kind of Christmas present that I like. It's like, this is just a cool box. I don't know. I mean, I could do different stitches in here. I could do floss in here. Dudes. Yum, yum, yum. So yes, that's a nice thing to play with. And I will figure that out. Let's see. What have I done next? What's next? I did the whips. I did stitches from viewers. Ah, yes. Okay. So I'm going to take a pause and pull them up, and then I will come back with everybody's name. Exie, who I told you about before, has lost her home because of the North Carolina tornadoes and floods over the fall and stuff. She sent me pictures. She found some of her fully finishes, and she found some stuff in storage that got saved. I'm so glad, Exie, that you got something that was saved. So here are some pictures from Exie. Exie is the featured artist today. For all of her her beautiful finishes. Oh, I love the owl. The owl is really great. So thank you. If you too would like to send me any of your fully finishes or your whips, like I said before, feel free to email them to me, and here's my email. Yeah. So what else? I'm looking at my thing to figure out what I'm going to do next. I think the next thing I'm going to do with you guys is, how about a little bit of singing bowl? How about that? I'm going to shift gears way down. And I get so excited to share with you guys. I know it sounds like I'm just had 17 cups of coffee, but I'm so grateful to spend this time with you guys. Feel free to like, subscribe if you want, or just tell people about the channel if you found something here that was fun, if it was comforting, if it supported you in any way. I am very, very grateful, because it does support me. I feel like we got to give it away to keep it, and there are so many beautiful people in so many different walks of my life, and especially through the stitching community. You guys have really helped me this year. You don't even know. My seasonal affective disorder has been so much better this year because of my stitching group, my ladies. I love you. And also because of, yes, I am getting a little teary, and also because of, I've done lots more self-care this year. You know, I stayed present. And I also want to say that I think doing these YouTube Flosstubes with you has helped me remain present in community to you. I don't take it for granted that you guys are choosing to watch my Flosstube. I do not take that for granted at all. There are hundreds of really professional, nice, smart, stitching the globe, the comfort stitching. There are all these beautiful floss tubes that are out there. I Stitch Birds, the ones that I watch, Helen D, all these beautiful, incredible Lindy Stitches, Caterpillar Stitch videos. I mean, there's hundreds, right? Yes, we're a small community. And yes, we're sort of a niche community. But within a niche community, I'm a niche community because within a niche community, I'm more niche than than most other channels because I do, I just do my life on here. I'm very aware of the fact that my time on this planet is finite, and that I don't have kids and I'm not married, and I have dogs and I have a cat. And I have cross stitch, and I have my work, and I have my niece and my nephew, and my sister, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and I'm very grateful for my brother in Oregon and my sister-in-law in Oregon. I have family, yeah, and also I have cross stitch family because you guys are the ones that understand my obsession. You guys are the ones that understand what it's like to want to sit down and do nothing for 2 days except drink coffee, watch true crime, or World War II documentaries, or horror movies. By the way, the horror movie I watched was Midsummer. Oh my goodness. And then I watched a very long 3-hour YouTube documentary describing why Midsummer was a masterpiece. And it really, yeah, it was like a psychological YouTube based on the movie. Oh, if you haven't seen it, it's creepy. Like, be careful. It's crazy. Really good, though. The filmmaker is really terrific. Anyway, tangent. As my friend Darlene Hilton would say, Campbell, you need a segue. Okay, segue, right. Segue. Back to what I was saying, I am grateful that you understand my obsession with cross stitch and that you share that passion with me. And so hopefully some of this brought you joy. And that, yes, I am a niche within a niche. And what I like to do is finish with some grounding. And today I wanted to introduce a new kind of mindfulness, is using a singing bowl. So I'm going to use the singing bowl and I'm going to invite the bell. And as I do it, I will leave you with metta. And for those of you who don't know what metta is, it is a practice of mindfulness and loving kindness that's about 2,800 years old at this point. It was introduced through the Vedics and then was picked up by a guy named Gautama Buddha who decided that it was a really good teaching and that we could all utilize this no matter what walk of life we're in, and to spread loving kindness. And as I said in the beginning of the video with the poem about love, I don't think love is unconditional. I think love is very conditional because it requires that we become conditioned to compassion. It becomes, we have to set boundaries, loving boundaries with people. We have to practice with our feet what our words would say. And so one of the things that happens with mindfulness and meditation and practice is that you show up for it by reminding yourself, yes, this is how I want to move forward in my life. We show up for cross stitch with one stitch at a time, and we think about the finished piece, yes, but we're also in the present of each stitch because you can only stitch one stitch at a time. You can only pull the floss through once and then once and then once. And it's the same thing with mindfulness. When we learn how to remain present and mindful, cross stitch is a great way to do it because it's eyes, thinking, and physical tangible. And sometimes I don't play anything on my YouTube. Sometimes I turn everything off. And I think, meta, 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 right? Because what we stitch and how we stitch, what we're feeling when we stitch, goes into our fabric, goes into our floss, goes into our piece. So please, stitch with joy, stitch with loving kindness, and stitch with meta, because that'll go into your pieces. So for those of you who don't like meditation bells, who are maybe anxious around meta meditation, feel free to turn off the video now. And for those of you that would like to do this with me, I'm going to go ahead and do the grounding exercise that I do with people with the bell. So take a deep breath in. And just let your eyes close. And listen to the sound of the bell. We always start just by listening and grounding ourselves with our ears. So listening to the vibration of the bell and breathing, just breathing. Allowing yourself to relax into your chair, feeling your body held by gravity in the chair. Gravity like a gentle blanket holding you to the earth. With all of the safety of all of your room around you. No place to go, nothing to do. You are safe in this moment. You are part of this world, held by gravity in the myriad of space to the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice breathing. Bless yourself for being. Allow yourself to say in your mind to yourself, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I come to know my own true nature. May I be free from suffering. May my practice alleviate suffering in others and the world. So we continue 2025. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Blessed be.